welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and we are matching.
We're matching today, and we did not plan it at all.
No, it's funny because I'm like, I think my outfit's exactly the color of those roses.
We're just, I don't know what is going on, but we did not talk about this. We never talk about what we're going to wear. We just show up and
nope.
Ta-da! We match.
No clue.
No clue at all.
No clue.
But anyway, here we are.
Apparently spring has sprung.
Spring has sprung.
With
and
us.
We're wearing springy colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I just realized that, we're in March, and Easter's this month.
Yes. March 31st is Easter this year.
Which, at least it's, because sometimes people are like, oh, no, it's never, I remember it being sometimes earlier in March, and people say that's never happened, but I don't believe it.
Oh, it could,
I think it's been in the 20s.
Yeah, well, like, the late 20s.
The late 20s,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wish Easter was like, okay, yeah, that's what it is, and this is.
Yeah, that's not the way it works, so. Anywho, we do have a fun show planned today. It's very interesting. I have a kind of a cool story to tell. And
yeah, we're kind of going down the murder line, aren't we, today?
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm going to talk a little bit about murder.
Yeah. Murder. Da, da, da. We need some fun sound effects whenever we
should.
do.
We should bring in sound effects for murder.
We definitely. We should. I don't even know for sure what's really what's going on, but
yeah.
I cannot wait till the end of the story to show you what I've brought today.
Oh, okay. So she has a surprise for me. I haven't seen it. I don't know what we're talking about, but she's going to surprise me on air here in a little bit.
Yeah. So I have a customer, and she's from Clay City. Her name is Donna Roosevelt.
Okay.
Donna Roosevelt and I are auction buddies. We've been auction buddies for years.
Uh-huh.
She has the most interesting stuff you've ever seen in your life.
Okay.
I mean, just absolutely.
And you brought something today from her?
I did. She came into my shop the other day.
Are you going to do it right now?
I can't wait.
Oh, okay.
I have to do it now. I have to show you.
Okay.
We'll figure out what we're going to do with this episode.
Should I close my eyes?
Well, no, let me do some explaining.
Oh, okay.
This is from the late 1800s.
Okay.
Okay. Ty, I'm going to have you put the picture up real quick. This woman's name... Find this little one. She brings this in. This woman's name, see, it's kind of, I'm a terrible picture taker. It's the late 1800s,
mm-hmm.
and that's Clara Smith from Newton.
Okay.
Sitting at this table. The item I'm going to pull out is that beautiful purse that's down front. You see it?
Yeah.
It's like totally displayed. Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
I love this purse. And it's totally beautifully displayed, and it's like on even a lace doily.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Ty, I need you to come back to Beth and I.
Okay.
That beautiful purse.
Okay.
Is an armadillo.
Oh my gosh! I don't even know if I want to touch it.
That
is made from a real armadillo.
Yes, this is an armadillo. Can you? Yeah. Come in on that, Ty. That is an armadillo.
Armadillos are back in our area.
Look.
But at that, I mean, there for a long time we didn't have armadillos, but now.
Yes.
Show him the tail end of that sucker again.
Here you go. Here's his tail.
Is that the tail? Okay.
And then come over. Apparently his little head was over here, and that's where they put the handle.
And she carried that as a purse.
Yes. If you want to get real close to it, Beth, there's still fur on this. Just touch it. Just touch it.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's hard like a shell. This is the real deal.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can find it. Yeah, I was there last night. Yeah, like if you run your hands right through here. Yeah, right along and through here. Here's the hair.
Yeah.
Still left over.
Ugh.
Is that not?
That is so cool. But also kind of creepy.
Have you ever in your life?
No, but I know that they use like furs and stuff, but I never would have thought about making a purse out of an armadillo shell. Was it a popular thing in the late 1800s?
I don't know, but just like... I don't know. You're definitely not throwing it over your shoulder.
And in that picture, that's the same Can we go back to
Yeah,
that picture?
go back to the back. Oh, yeah, she's proudly displaying her.
Oh, yeah.
She's proudly
Do
displaying.
you think she was using it as a purse or like a basket to decorate with?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, I think... Ty, did you get a good gander at that?
Oh, yeah.
Can I go wash? I want to go wash my hands. I feel gross.
Oh yeah, she brought that into me, and I was like, "Holy cow!" We're gonna start doing show and tell.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna start, but I want weird stuff, beautiful things. Let's bring beautiful, whatever. But I don't think we could do this show for the next 50 years. We're never topping that.
Nope.
I definitely brought the big guns out.
Yeah, you did. That's craziness.
I know. I knew. It was, and I've had this since last week. I've had it since last week, and I'm telling you what, I was.
You wanted to
can't
show
believe
me?
I wanted to so bad.
Good job on keeping a secret.
I did, because I'm not good at that.
I know. I know you're not, but you
when
did.
When it comes to presents and stuff. Yeah, but Donna Roosevelt. So Donna, I know you watch the show. So yeah, go through your stuff. She's got the. I'm not even going to talk. I guarantee you, probably 90% of the things that I bring into this for show and tell
from her. She has a great collection. Okay.
The most unusual collection.
Okay.
So now, whenever auctions, and I really hope that real auctions start back. I really hope that I'm going to start looking for the weirdest stuff.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? What I bought? We're not going to release it, but you remember that weird statue I bought at the last auction when you bought those quilts?
Yes.
Remember that weird?
Yes.
I'm going to bring it. But it won't be a surprise for you. But this I had to let be a surprise. I'm going to leave this armadillo purse up here this entire time.
Okay. Everyone can admire it and wish that they also had one.
I know, but I'm like, holy cow, it's this little tail.
Yeah.
Okay. I will never look at an armadillo the same.
No. Mm-mm.
Nope. Never.
That is very cool.
Now that we're talking about the armadillo,
okay.
I know, I couldn't wait.
You haven't. I'm glad you did it. That way it can be displayed the rest of the show.
The rest of the show.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't even.
I can't even either.
Yeah.
That's just something you don't see every day.
We're speechless.
Speechless. But we do have an ad.
We do have an ad.
Show off.
I don't know what magazine this came from, but I found it. I don't know.
No
Somebody
cover on
brought
it.
No. I don't know. It might be good. I think I can make out February 1952. Good Housekeeping.
Okay.
And I'm telling you what, Good Housekeeping, they did a lot of ads.
Yes, they did. That's how they made their money and paid for it to be such a big, thick
Never
magazine.
Heard of this before. Okay, Guy. Felso.
Felso.
Washes clothes cleaner. Washes cottons better. Whether you're washing dress-up shirts, heavy work clothes, children's play suits, or your own print dresses, Felso gives you really clean washes, sweet and fragrant and fluffily easy to iron.
Oh, fluffily.
Washes woolens better. Woolens these days are mighty precious. They deserve only the finest, most delicate treatment. That means gentle washing with Felso. Even in the hardest water, Felso makes just right suds that remove soil and stains without rubbing and scrubbing, and leave sweaters, blankets, and other woolens soft and fleecy.
Ah.
Washes nylons better.
It washes. Oh, we're getting to that.
Everything. Felso makes life so simple for the bathroom laundress. Oh my gosh.
Laundress. That's what I am.
Up. Simple for the bathroom laundress. Just a dash of Felso in your wash bowl, and you enjoy just right suds that wash your sheerest rayons, nylons, and silks quickly and daintily.
Oh.
Felso is white, free pouring, and fragrant. It is such a nice product to use and so gentle on the hands.
Oh.
Washes everything better.
That's what I was going to say.
P.S. Felso washes dishes better too.
Oh gosh, you can just use it everywhere.
Try this. Fill a baked-on pie plate or baking pan with Felso suds. Let soak. See how easily and quickly the pan rinses, sparkling clean by the time your meal is over.
Wow.
By the makers of Naphtha soap.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Felso cleaner?
Nope. But if it was so good, I'm surprised it went out of business.
Well,
I mean, I think I've heard of that Fel's Naphtha, though. That's an ingredient. Like if you were going to try to make your own soap, you need something like that. I don't remember what it was called, but
yeah.
Well, that's cute, though.
Well, I think it's interesting. You can wash your linens and your woolens and your cottons and your nylons and blah, 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 and then your dishes, because I'm going to confess something right now.
What?
Okay. I ran out of dish soap one time. So what did I do? I just went down the basement, brought up some clothing,
like Tide or something.
Laundry soap.
And you did dishes?
Yeah, and I did my dishes in laundry soap. Didn't work at all.
Oh.
First of all, I'm a bubble girl. No bubble. Well, which in return, sometimes I don't think. And, but like I'm like trying to get. I got a few suds, but it's like, well, duh, Stacey, you don't want your laundry soap to be really sudsy and not get the bubbles out of your clothes.
Right. Yeah.
But it took the revelation of doing dishes on my own to figure that out.
Yeah.
Have you ever done anything stupid like that?
Nope.
Nope. You've never done that?
I have never done that.
Yeah,
I have done plenty of stupid things. That one particular one I haven't done, but
yeah. Oh yeah, because like I've gotten a pickle, and I've used body wash to wash my hair, shampoo my hair in. I've used shampoo for body wash. I'm not even close to being a minimalist. You'll never hear Stacey Earlywine say she's a minimalist.
I'm a maximalist.
I'm a max.
There's actually a Facebook page for those that are maximalists, and they have their living rooms are full of things on the walls and stuff. It's so pretty. I like it. I like to follow that, but.
Yeah, I'm definitely what do we call ourselves?
Maximalists.
Maximalist. All the way, maximalist.
Yes,
yeah.
maximalist.
But anyway, so I thought the ad was funny and the armadillo. But yeah, I think we're going to start coming across some pretty fun stuff. But anyway,
yeah, very cool.
That's my opening segment.
Well, that was a really awesome one. Way to go.
I don't think we'll ever be the same.
No. And where does she keep this thing? Because
God only knows. Probably, knowing Donna, probably displayed somewhere.
Well, it should be, is what I was going to say. Like, it should be displayed somewhere.
Yeah.
So.
No, but she was like, I want that back. And I'm like.
Well, yeah. You wouldn't want to give it up if you owned it either.
No, I wouldn't. She trusts me. I've been treating this thing like it's the crown jewel.
You have to be a little careful with it. You don't want anything bad to happen to it. Does she have it named?
I don't know, but we might have to. Yeah, I don't know.
Army?
I don't know. Army. Oh my gosh. And on that note, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville. Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas.
What?
You better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zing Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zing Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. We have an interesting program today. We're going to kind of talk about several different things that we've came across in our research that don't really add up to something that we can make a whole episode about, but they are certainly interesting little tidbits. So I'm going to start off with a story that I found about a murder.
We love murder stories.
Murder.
Dun, dun, dun.
But was it really a murder? This is going to be something at the end you can decide.
There's a twist?
There's a twist. This is one of those stories with an unusual twist.
Okay, lay it on me.
Okay. In November, let me set the scene.
Okay.
It was November 1929. Okay, 29. What do you think of? Gangsters.
Roaring 20s.
Roaring 20s, gangsters. I don't think that these guys were gangsters, but you can kind of picture the cars.
Let's pretend they are.
Okay. The small village of Bible Grove, Illinois.
Okay, everybody go to Bible Grove.
1929, November, Bible Grove. And there was, everyone in town was excited because the word had gotten out that Effingham County Sheriff J.D. Marshall, Effingham County is the county north of Clay County for those watching from out of town, had shot and killed a resident of Bible Grove by the name of E.A. Shink. Okay, so the sheriff...
Shink got shanked.
Shink got shanked. And it was rumored that it was unjustified. So he killed him. It was not justified. And everyone in Bible Grove was talking about it.
Okay.
So here's the story. Mr. Shink had purchased a Buick car from a dealer in Decatur, Illinois, which is even further north. And he financed it through General Motors, the General Motors Acceptance Corporation. And guess what? Mr. Shink became delinquent in his payments.
Okay.
He wasn't making his car payment, and they were going to come after him. So there was a man by the name of Norval, which, by the way, I think is a fantastic first name.
Norval.
Norval, if you're going to name a pet.
Yeah.
Maybe not if you're going to name a child. Okay.
Norval.
Norval Hanley was a representative for the finance company. And he, for whatever reason, went to Effingham County and secured the services of that sheriff to try to help him get the money out of this E.A. Shank. Why he didn't come to the Clay County sheriff, I don't know. But I will say that Bible Grove is at the northern end of Clay County, so maybe he felt like Effingham was the closest big town, and that was where he was supposed to go. He wasn't from around here.
Right.
He was hired by General Motors. So he, for whatever reason, went to Effingham, hired their sheriff to come after this E.A. Shank with him to get the car payments. He wanted to repossess the car. So these two men, the guy from General Motors, Norval, and then the marshal, he was the sheriff of Effingham County. He wasn't a marshal. His last name was Marshall.
Marshall, okay.
Okay. They, along with Effingham County Deputy Sheriff L. Evans, went out searching for Mr. Shink. Okay. They found Shink on the road home, like on the road to Bible Grove, and told him they came to get either A, the money owed on the car, or B, the car itself. They wanted either the money or they were going to take the car. Repoing the car. Shank refused to turn the car over because he simply asked for a financial report. Can you prove this on paper? Do you have anything in writing that says that I owe this? What do you have? Show me what you have. He was not mean. He was not hateful. He just simply asked in a nice way to show him on paper what he owed. Well, they couldn't do it. So they could not furnish any kind of financial report or a release to be given to him, so he refused to give them the car.
Well, that is kind of weird. So they came down without any proof that this...
Yeah.
That's odd, right?
It is odd, and I think that nowadays not that I've ever had one repossessed, but I would think that they would somehow be able to prove on paper or have a paper trail.
Yeah, you'd have to.
A paper trail of some sort that you didn't pay.
Yeah.
But this guy was questioning, like, the whole situation. So when he refused to turn over the car, they forced Shank into the sheriff's car and then drove him to his house in Bible Grove. So they were already on the road to Bible Grove. They forced him in the police car and they drove him to Bible Grove. But when the car stopped, Shank jumped out and ran through his front gate and then slammed it behind him.
Well,
Okay?
I can't. I mean, seriously.
So, yeah.
I can't really blame him.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary, isn't it?
Kind of. He acts like like they're in the wrong and that he does not owe for the car and that they were just like throwing him in this police car. And so he gets back to his house, runs to the front gate, slams it behind him, and then he ordered the trio of men off of his property. He's like, get out of here. You don't belong here. Get off my property. And reportedly threatened them with a shovel. You three, get out of here! I paid my car payment. Get out of here!
Yeah, and you're doing this to the Effingham County Sheriff.
Yes, but it's only a shovel, and he's and he's at his front door. The other guys are off on the driveway.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So it'd be like me standing at the front door holding the shovel and being like, "Get out of my yard, you stinking kids!"
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So instead, Sheriff Marshall drew his gun.
Yipes.
Okay. And he fired 3 shots. He didn't fire 1 shot or 2 shots.
3.
He didn't have a taser back then to take down this belligerent man. Not that I even think he was that belligerent, but
no, probably not.
He drew his gun. He was just mad. He was just mad this guy wasn't cooperating, so I'm going to kill you.
Sure.
He fired 3 shots. Shank was hit by 2 of the bullets and died 40 minutes later.
Oh my gosh. See, and
40 minutes he lays there and suffers and dies.
Yeah, why would you carry it that far?
Over repoing a car.
And we don't even know if it's really real.
And, I mean, Sheriff Marshall didn't have a dog in this fight. It wasn't his money. He wasn't the representative from General Motors. But he was hired by General Motors to carry out this repo.
Yeah, that's kind of bad.
So there was an inquest. This is going to be we're getting closer to the plot twist. Okay? There was an inquest. Sheriff Marshall, after being advised not to testify, told a very clear story of the shooting. So his attorneys said, don't testify. Don't do it. Don't get up there. Don't say all of this. But apparently he was a stubborn man. I don't think he was a very smart man, but I'm sure there's people that are watching that are probably related. I'm only going by this particular story. I'm sure he probably had other things he did well. Okay. He testified that at no time did Shank make any threats against him other than to order the trio to stay out of his yard. That's all he did. He ordered them to stay out of his yard. And the sheriff even said that on stand. Yeah, he didn't threaten us. He just told us to stay out of the yard.
And he got shot.
Okay.
3 times?
3 times. Not once, not twice, but 3 times.
No, that's ridiculous.
Sheriff J.D. Marshall was indicted for murder and placed under a $50,000 bond.
Ooh, in 1929?
Yeah, and $50,000 in 1929.
That's
a lot of money.
It's a lot of money now.
Okay, so get ready for a twist. Sheriff Marshall, along with his attorney, appeared in the court and stated that he did not kill E.A. Shank because E.A. Shank never existed.
What?
How can this be?
How can that be?
What do you mean he never existed? Well, apparently the name of E.A. Shank was not the correct name of the dead man. It was ordered in evidence that the man known as Shank was in reality Emery Rabenstein. So this man that wasn't paying his car payment, allegedly,
yeah,
wasn't even going by his right name. Okay, he was
the plot does sicken.
Someone else that was hiding in a small town going by a false name. So he could not be convicted of murder of a man named E.A. Shank when E.A. Shank did not exist. Okay.
Okay. That is a weird.
Yeah. I tried to find pictures of either one of these men, and I could not. I went through a ton of Effingham history. I didn't find it. I also could not find a gravestone for E.A. Shank or Emery Rabenstein anywhere in the United States. Okay, so Schenck was, in reality, Emery Rabenstein, a former Decatur man who was accused of deserting his wife and child in Hanover, Pennsylvania. So he had a wife and a kid, and he left them in Pennsylvania, which in the 1920s was a big deal. That you could be prosecuted for that. You could be in trouble for desertion and abandonment of a child and a woman. He did it, and then he just kind of went into his own little witness protection program and changed his name and moved far away. So he was wanted. He was a wanted man in Pennsylvania for wife and child abandonment and for violation of the Mann Act, M-A-N-N, which I meant to Google that before I started and I forgot. Ty, would you look up the M-A-N-N Act, Mann Act?
The Mann Act.
They charged that the woman that Schenck had been living with in Bible Grove, because he had a woman there. That wasn't his wife.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't even his wife. It was another woman that he had brought with him from Hanover, Pennsylvania 2 years ago. So he was cheating on his wife in Pennsylvania. He left her and the child behind and ran off with his affair woman and settled in Bible Grove, Illinois, a little bitty, tiny, out-of-the-way town that had a very small population and where it was pretty much guaranteed that no one would ever find him.
Had he made his car payment...
The only thing he messed up was he didn't make a car payment, allegedly, and the police showed up.
He really went from this guy where I'm going, oh, that's so bad, to...
Yeah. He moved to Clay County and became a farmer in Bible Grove, living the quiet life.
Wow.
But,
Did you find the Mann Act?
Okay, let's see what it says the Mann Act was.
I'm hoping this is the right one.
Okay. Okay, I don't know that this. I don't think this is the right. This one doesn't relate. Okay,
we're not talking sex trafficking now.
Yeah, that had to do with sex trafficking, which maybe in some ways maybe he was somehow accused of that. I don't know. I don't know what this guy was up to now. That really throws another twist in it.
It really does. Wait.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
We're going to take a commercial break.
Okay, we'll be right back.
And then we're going to come right back with this twisty story.
The rest
we'll be right
of the
back.
Story.
Right.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank. We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online banking, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It's the weekend and your symptoms are worsening. The morning of a big meeting and you have a bigger sore throat. Ever experienced that urgency after picking up your sick child and your community health center has already closed? You will be able to connect to a provider at crhpc.org. Even if you have never been to CRHPC, you are welcome to utilize our services. Feel better after scheduling a video visit with CRHPC.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. We're talking about one crazy story today.
I don't even know where to start, but Ty was right. So
yeah,
you pulled
so
up
we talked about this man, E.A. Shank, also real name Rabenstein, Emery Rabenstein. He was charged with deserting his wife and child in Hanover, Pennsylvania, and he was wanted for wife and child abandonment and for violation of the Mann Act, which we Googled. Ty came up with something about sexual trafficking. It really was having to do with that. He crossed state lines with another woman. His woman, I think, that he brought with him to Bible Grove to settle down to become a farmer. So this was a law enacted to act against sex trafficking. Even back in the 1920s, this was happening, and prostitution. So it made it a crime to transport women across state lines for the purpose of prostitution or debauchery or any other immoral purpose. So while it was designed to combat forced prostitution, the law was so broadly worded that courts held it to criminalize many forms of consensual sexual activity. So this woman that he ran off with was consensual, I think, between him and her. Right. They were acting as husband and wife. But because it was so broadly worded in the law, it was used as a tool of political persecution as well as a tool for blackmail. So it was an easy charge to throw at some man he wasn't doing the right thing. I'm going to give him that. Right. Whether or not this should have been thrown, extreme? I don't think it was probably this extreme, but they were trying to throw the book at him. Yeah. Anyway, he left, and he went to Bible Grove. Because where else would you go?
I would go to Bible Grove.
Yeah.
I always said if I was going to commit a crime, I'd go to Reinard.
Reinard, Bible Grove, Sailor Springs, all these little towns around Clay County that you could just easily disappear into. Yep. Okay. So, in light of the charge that Mrs. Shink, the lady that really wasn't Mrs. Shink, was not legally married to Mr. Shink, she dropped her $20,000 damage suit against General Motors. So he got killed. Meanwhile, the woman who was supposedly his wife living with him in Bible Grove said, I'm going to sue General Motors for $20,000, which was a heck of a lot of money in 1929. So she had a suit claiming that her husband was killed while the company was attempting to collect a delinquent payment on an auto. But then the story all came to light that they weren't really married, nor were they who they said they were. So she had to drop her suit.
So I guess that's considered fraud. So like if you kill somebody and that's not really who they are, even though you killed them and you didn't.
So apparently this wasn't the first time that Shink had deserted his wife and child. Apparently they had lived in Decatur at some point too, and he deserted the wife and family in Decatur, but later returned to them and then took them back east, probably to Pennsylvania. They lived in Pennsylvania for a little bit. He got mad again, probably. I'm interjecting this. And he left him again. Yeah. Okay, so that's how the family ended out in Pennsylvania. Okay, so Hanley... that would have been Norval Hanley that I talked about earlier, testified at the trial that Shank did indeed threaten the trio with a shovel, saying that if they came onto his property, they would all be sorry. So there was hours of testimony. This was all at the Clay County Courthouse because this happened in Clay County. Yes, it involved the Effingham County Sheriff, but it was a Clay County murder. Yeah. And so just picture our courthouse, which is the same, right? Because we talked about the courthouse. It was there in 29. Same one that's there today. And it was a packed house, and that building was packed. The square around.
Is that the first Shawshank Redemption?
I don't know. It said that it was crowds in the courtroom as well as in the lobby and the corridors. So, Sheriff Marshall was found. What do you think he was found? Guilty or not guilty?
I'm going with not guilty.
He was found not guilty. It was declared self-defense.
Seriously,
I'm standing at my door with a shovel, and you're all the way out at the edge of my property on the driveway, and I'm saying, "Don't come onto my property!" And you shoot me three times,
and you get off not guilty because it was self-defense.
Self-defense. So, among those that were testifying was also the slain man's brother, Ray Rabenstein.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And he gave evidence that Shank was not Shank. He really was Emery Rabenstein. Okay. Of Hanover, Pennsylvania. So he came in, testified about the name change and that this really wasn't who they said. So after all the evidence was brought out, public sentiment about Sheriff Marshall took on a more favorable light. Everyone was very forgiving and like, oh, Sheriff Marshall, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
That was just a big mess up with some guy who wasn't even who he said he was, and everything's fine. He is a good guy.
Yeah, I'm thinking the sheriff was a little, yeah.
It was said that the big
shanky.
It was said that the big corporation, General Motors Finance Corporation, was active of the truth, the pursuit of the truth in the charges.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
So they were very involved in the whole thing. Not that I wanted Sheriff Marshall to
go away forever,
to be guilty. I just feel like it wasn't justified. The shooting was not justified.
The shooting was not justified at all.
But also, Shank seems like a very shady character.
Right.
So, I'm on the fence there about how that really should have went down.
I'm on the fence with that one.
But,
Yeah, I'm on the fence with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because you're dealing, the sheriff should have, that was totally uncalled for.
Right, it was uncalled for.
It was uncalled for.
And it's not even clear if he really was truly behind on the car payment.
Yeah.
So that is the story of E.A. Shank, also known as Emery Rabenstein.
Yeah. It's funny.
And I couldn't find pictures of any of them.
Well, sometimes it's hard to find. You can't find.
Nothing.
I've got just a short story here today, too. And this is from, his name was A.W. Pickle Jr. He was 45 years old, and he was from Xenia, and he was shot while he was farming. But I'm going to have to go. Okay, so, we go to Don Thomas's.
Uh-huh.
And we go through Rena Lynch Thomas's papers, and we're taking pictures and all this kind of stuff. I don't know, but I'm the worst picture taker. You guys can blatantly tell because when I send my pictures in. So I'm like, ooh, this is a cool story. This would be one to just do with a cluster of stories. So I saw the pickle one, but as I'm looking down here, I need to find this next story that apparently happened in 1975. Ernest Fothery found guilty on 3 counts of local extortion.
Oh.
So I'm going to have to, hey, Don Thomas.
Hey, Don Thomas, look that one up for us. Local extortion.
Local extortion, yeah.
People
why
think
not?
Clay County is just such a quiet community and nothing ever happens. And you start digging around in old newspapers, people, I'll tell you, it's all happened.
It is
right
all
here.
happening.
We've had it all. Extortion, murder, kidnapping.
Great.
Rapes. That's all.
Gotta love it all.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to read this, and I'm reading it from my phone because I don't have a printer.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm not sure if they ever caught this person. So John Baylor, I know you're going to be watching. Look up because his dad was the district attorney on district attorney on this one.
Okay.
The state's attorney.
State's attorney.
Yes.
John Baylor's dad was the state's attorney.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, and I bet John probably knows the answer. So hunt this down for me. A.W. Pickle Jr., 45 of Xenia, farmer, died about 11:40 p.m. Saturday, June 24th. So 11:40 p.m.
Yeah.
So it's late at night.
It's almost midnight.
It's almost midnight.
What year? Tell me the year again.
Let's see. Why? How come it's not saying in his obituary when he passed away?
Some of them didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's June. It's 72. I'm sorry.
Okay, 1972.
June of 72. Yeah.
Okay.
Rena wrote down 72. So 1972, Saturday, June 24th, at Furman Dislodge Hospital, St. Louis, Missouri. Death was the direct result of a gunshot wound in the head on June 9th. Identity of the person who fired the gun is unknown. So you're either a heck of a shot or it was somebody that knew he was out there and did this. Since that time, Pickle has been hospitalized in extremely critical condition, and his death now makes his unknown assailant a murderer. A full-scale investigation of this matter is now in progress, directed by State's Attorney H. Carroll Baylor and Sheriff Jim Sulzberger.
Okay.
Pickle was shot while on his tractor planting soybeans on a rented farm in the Greendale area, about 4 miles northwest of Xenia. The fatal bullet lodged in his brain. Following his death, the bullet was removed from the brain of the deceased. During a coroner's autopsy in St. Louis, this bullet may provide a clue to the identity of the slayer. The investigation may have turned up some other possible leads, but State's Attorney Baylor and Sheriff Sulzberger do not wish to talk about them at this time. So there's got to be some other leads. We need to find.
So what time of day do they think he was killed?
Well,
I mean,
it says he died about 11:40 p.m.
Yeah, but he wasn't on his tractor at 11:40 p.m.
No, hospital in St. Louis.
So they took him there. So sometime that afternoon or evening, I bet he was shot.
Because it was lodged in his brain.
But did they solve it?
I don't know. I cannot find any other. I can't find any other things to say if they ever found out who killed A.W. Pickle.
Wow. Maybe it's just one of those things that kind of got pushed under the rug.
So there's a kid, well, not a kid, he's a young man in town now that's bringing back cold cases of Clay County.
Okay.
And I'm excited about it because there's a lot of cold cases, or there's a lot of cases that were rendered suicide that were not. So I would like to see that come back. A.W. Pickle Jr., the deceased, was born in Clay County, the son of the late A.W. Pickle Sr. He is survived by his wife, Bertha Xenia, one son, A.W. Pickle III, at home, a stepdaughter, Margaret Halfacker, from Hollywood, Florida, his mother, Belle Pickle of Xenia, two sisters, Hazel Mason and Rochelle Schmidt, three brothers, Glenn, Clee, and Claude, all of Xenia, and four grandchildren. Funeral services were held at the Frank Funeral Home in Flora, and he is buried in the cemetery in Xenia.
Wow. That's super
so I don't
sad.
know. I want to know now.
Yeah.
It's hard to find.
Sometimes we find stuff in our research and we never find the result of it. Like we have the beginning of the story, and nowhere in any of the papers or anything that we go through can we find how it ended.
Yeah,
and we don't want to always leave you with a cliffhanger, so we don't always use those stories just because we don't know the ending. But
I just felt because I never 72. I mean, I was 5 years old in 72, but I never.
That was my mother's 19th birthday.
I wonder if she remembers it.
I don't know.
I bet she does. So there's been a lot of people around in 1972. So yeah, if you know what happened, and like I said, I bet John Baylor would know. He probably knows. He's very knowledgeable of the cases his father did.
Yeah, he did. He is. So he may know all about that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to take another quick commercial break, and we will come back with probably a couple more interesting stories.
Sure will.
We'll be right back.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank. We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online banking, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It's the weekend and your symptoms are worsening. The morning of a big meeting and you have a bigger sore throat. Ever experienced that urgency after picking up your sick child and your community health center has already closed? You will be able to connect to a provider at crhpc.org. Even if you have never been to CRHPC, you are welcome to utilize our services. Feel better after scheduling a video visit with CRHPC.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. We are talking about all kinds of interesting stories from Clay County's past. I have another one, which is it's on the Clay County Wayne County line, I believe.
Okay.
But this is an interesting story. It is actually, this takes place in Wayne County, but it's very close to Clay County on the line. So it's about gold.
Gold?
Hidden gold.
In Clay County?
Well, on the border, over in Wayne County. So this is about a man named John Young. He was reported to be illiterate and uneducated, but not ignorant. So this man had street smarts.
Okay.
He had common sense, but he hadn't spent a lot of time in a school. He probably grew up working. But he was a hard worker, and he stashed away money over the years, and especially gold. And he had a very unique hiding place where he kept it. So, yeah, he came to Illinois in I think his parents came to Illinois in 1818. He had a wife and children, and they settled in Wayne County. They raised a family of 13 children. And with his first wife, she passed away. Her name was Susan. And then he married a woman named Sarah. And she went on to have 5 kids together. So 13 plus 5 is 18 kids. 18 kids he had.
Wowzers. He needed to hide some gold.
Yeah. And so he was described as a miser.
Oh, a penny pincher?
Penny pincher. Tight guy. He was a hard worker. I don't think that he spent any money on his kids. Everything was sacked away, hidden, saved for another day, and they lived a very poor life. He didn't buy anything fine, but what he did buy, if he did have to buy something, it would be quality, so he would never have to buy it again.
Oh, so
he would buy, like if he had to buy lumber or something, he would buy a good piece. Just so that he never had to buy it again. He was that kind of guy.
Of course, me, I'm going to buy a bunch of cheap stuff.
So he built a home of logs.
Nice.
And it was in the logs that he stowed away his fortune of gold.
Wow.
So he hollowed out one end of at least one of the logs in the home, maybe more, and then placed his gold inside of it.
He wasn't planning on that place ever burning down, was he?
Well, if he did, the gold wouldn't burn. I mean, it might melt.
It would melt?
But
that's right, yeah.
It wouldn't burn up, I don't think. So, okay, and then he sealed it by plastering and mudding over the end of that log. So you could not look at that log and know that it had a ton of gold buried inside of it. So this cabin stood in Lamard Township, Wayne County, and near the cabin site is the Young Cemetery, where John and all of his family members are buried. So this guy's there. He's buried there at the Young Cemetery, and his name was John Young. So if you are in that area and you like to investigate cemeteries, that's one we should travel to.
Oh, yeah.
It's not very far into Wayne County. So the cabin is long gone, and so is the gold. But the stories remain.
Oh, I wonder what happened to it.
So John Young died on March the 26th of 1878 at the age of 88. That was Carissa's birthday. My daughter Carissa was born on March 26th, 88 years old. Both of his wives had died before him. Susan had died in 1835 and Sarah in 1853, and they are all presumed buried in the John Young family cemetery. I don't think very many of their graves are marked, but John's is. John says John Young died May 26, 1828, aged about 88Y, or 88 years is what they would put on a gravestone. So John lived to an advanced age for that time period.
Yeah.
And he was very rich, having considerable property in addition to his hidden wealth. So he's written about in the history of Wayne and Clay counties in Illinois, and that book was written in 1884. So that's the source of this story. He was known to have wealth, but he was also known to be a miser. Honestly, I think of like Ebenezer
what happened
Scrooge.
To it? Right? What happened to his money?
Before his death, he told his sons where the gold was hidden.
Oh, boy.
And it was said to have been recovered. Honestly, yeah. If my dad said to me, hey, the gold's hidden out back in the log cabin, I'd be like, okay, be right back.
Yeah.
I would go right.
Okay, Dad.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm going to go check that out.
So his sons really came into some. Can you imagine? That's never happened to me. Nobody's ever said, hey, Stacey, there's a fortune in the wall.
No, but if you have a fortune and you would like to donate it to me and Stacey, our email is, by the way, bethandstacey@gmail.com. Okay.
That's right. We'll take it.
Yes. So this story varies from the usual hidden gold stories, because usually when you hear a story about hidden gold, what happens? No one ever finds it.
Nobody finds it.
Not in this story. His sons were all over it. Okay. But there is no actually record of their recovery, but they assume that's what happened.
Well, sure.
The sons were told.
So. Is that cabin still?
It's not there.
We'll be eating lunch in Wayne County today.
He probably took it to his grave with him. It might be buried with him, and I doubt it.
I doubt it. Those boys found it.
So at the time that the Wayne County History book was written in 1884, it was 6 years after the death of John Young. One of his sons, named Ewing Young, which I think is a super cute name, Ewing, was still living in the county, and it was said that in many respects he had many of his father's traits. So did Ewing take the gold that he inherited and also hide it?
Maybe.
And if he did, was it found?
Huh.
It's said that Ewing was intelligent, enterprising, and wealthy. Like his father, he loved money, and he knew how to take care of it. He also owned several good farms and livestock. So did he use the money to buy a farm and just invest it, or
maybe
did he also?
It and make more money off of it.
I think he hid some of it too.
Oh, he would probably do.
I think that he had a hiding spot too. So in the clipping from the Wayne County Press in 1878, which was the year that John died, it was said that a man by the name of G.J. George showed somebody at the press a piece of the gold that was found at the Young cabin. The piece of gold was said to have been valued at around $2,000 when it was hidden in the log, but during the Civil War, it might have been worth as much as $5,000. Today, that it would be a very tidy sum.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I don't know.
That would be, who knows?
Yeah. Don't know.
Wow, that's craziest thing ever.
Yeah. So for those of you that are like big into like restoring old wooden structures like cabins, I know that the people at Kim Mundy Log Cabin Village, which I'm hoping to do a show on them in the fall when it gets closer to the festival. There's so many cool log cabins there. I often wonder, like, if you pick up a log and it feels particularly heavy, do you
shake it like it's a rain gauge?
I think there could be some gold in this one. We're going to cut it open and see.
You know what? It makes you wonder with people doing that because, banks weren't, nobody's money's putting. How much money has been lost and gold has been buried? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Cash has been burned.
Oh, yeah.
Never did. I mean,
I think a lot of times, like with especially older people, people who are maybe from the greatest generation, which is that generation before the baby boom, like my grandparents' generation, they are, a lot of them, not all of them, like to hide money.
Right.
And they have these estates where they have hidden money all around the house, but they haven't told people in their family where all the money is. And I think things get thrown out, thrown into dumpsters, thrown into auctions, and there's money hidden in them.
Yeah. Usually, like, if I buy, like, a picture or anything.
Open it up, the back of the picture frame, and look.
Open it up, the back of the picture frame.
Yep.
Guess what's never happened?
You never found any.
Never found any money.
Flip through books. A lot of times they would hide things in books. Now, if there's ever, like, a threat to cash in our society or, like, a reason for me to hide money, my hiding place, which I shouldn't tell.
Are you going to tell?
I'm going to tell this one because I think I don't think that the feds will be watching this show. But I personally, because I'm a quilter, you could easily hide money in a quilt between the layers.
You could
Cash.
Yeah. Man, you're thinking.
But would my children know to unsew that and look inside before they donated it to Goodwill?
Yeah. I would stash my cash in my armadillo purse. People be like, "Oh my God, what is that?" I don't know, but I'm not looking in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you could easily put cash down in there and then put a lining in that.
Well, yeah.
And no one would even look underneath the lining. They would just think it's part of the purse.
Okay, Donna Roosevelt, there you go. When I bring this back to you. Yeah, when I bring that back to you.
Yeah, just add in a little bit of fabric in the bottom and hide some cash underneath it. And if it starts getting very heavy, we'll know that's where she hid all of her gold.
Well, I'm not clever.
You're clever.
Well, I don't know where I'd even put money. Where would I hide money if I had any?
I don't know.
I have to think about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to think about that.
Yeah. You got an old VCR?
Huh?
You got
look at you.
Put it in there because nobody's going to look in a VCR.
See,
who uses a VCR anymore? Nobody.
Not me.
Yeah, I don't have one anyway.
A CD player, but you never get it out of the CD player. Where would I hide cash? That we're going to leave that with you on this app. Where would you hide your cash? Clever places to hide cash.
Something to think about.
Well, every time we've remodeled a room in our house, I was always hoping when we knocked down a wall there'd be money in there. But guess what? Never happened.
Never happened that you found any money.
There was never any money in my walls.
Womp, womp, womp. Okay, so this show is already almost over. So what do you...
I don't even know how that happens.
Where does the time go? I got
don't
another
know.
little story. I'll save it for another day.
We don't need it now. Huh. Yeah, we don't need it. Oh, you'll like this one. Eleanor Roosevelt.
Oh, I love Eleanor Roosevelt.
You love Eleanor.
She's a great lady.
She was pretty spot on.
Yeah, I read her autobiography one time. It was really good.
Really? Was it a good one?
Mm-hmm.
Let me have to get that. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams.
I believe that.
Eleanor.
That's me. I believe in the beauty of my dreams.
So
the future's mine. Sorry. It's not yours. It is mine.
We believe in our beauty, so we're there. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. You know, a lot of these quotes that, we got this whole book, but they are really, it is all about.
They all kind of have the same theme.
They all have the same view.
Believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams.
Yeah.
Push forward, persevere, keep going. You can do it. That's the sum of them all, I think.
Yeah. Here's a neat one from Jim Ron.
Okay.
There are only 3 colors, 10 digits, and 7 notes. It's what we do with them that's important.
Ooh, that's really cool. Yeah, because you can mix all those things up and make a million different things. A bajillion different things.
Just look at all the out of 3 primary colors, what you can do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's
Very cool.
That's a neat quote.
I like that, Jim Ron.
Jim Ron.
Way to go, Jim.
Way to go, Jim.
Yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it.
You nailed it. Beth, tell them where they can see us.
So you can find us on Wabash Catch TV, Channel 100, daily at 11 a.m. Our new episodes air on Thursdays and Fridays. If you can't catch us on Wabash Television, you can always catch us on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is simply called By the Way with Beth and Stacey. If you just type that into the front homepage on YouTube, our page will come up. You can click on that. It will take you to every episode we have ever filmed. They are all on YouTube. You can also like and follow us on Facebook. We sometimes share funny things on there and share some of our past episodes there as well. So By the Way with Beth and Stacey is our Facebook page. And you can email us at bytheway@gmail.com. We would love to hear any tips, comments, questions, show ideas, anything. Let us know.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Yep, that's true. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
God bless you and have a great day.